Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a skill that is, frankly, essential in the modern world: how to see through all the marketing hype. We're surrounded by it, so how do we figure out what's real and what's just noise? Let's get right into it.
You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling, you see an ad or a review, and it's just perfect. And that little voice in the back of your head pipes up and goes, well, wait a minute, can that actually be right? That's the exact feeling we're going to explore today.
I mean, we are just swimming in a sea of information. We get bombarded every single day with persuasive messages, from sponsored posts that look like real content to official-looking reports. It's a real challenge trying to separate the solid facts from the slick fiction.
But here's the good news. You have a secret weapon, and we're going to call it your skepticism superpower. Now, this isn't about being negative or cynical and just distrusting everything. No. This is about being smart. It's about being an active, critical thinker.
So what do I mean by healthy skepticism? Well, it's really a mindset. It's the habit of hitting the pause button before you believe something. It's about asking questions and actually looking for some real proof before you just accept a claim at face value.
And this superpower, it really just boils down to three simple habits. First, you gotta question the default assumptions. Second, you actively look for evidence, and not just any evidence, credible evidence. And third, and this is key, you stay open-minded. You're ready to be convinced by good data, just not by empty promises.
Okay, so theory is great, but let's get our hands dirty. To really use this superpower effectively, we first have to learn how to decode the specific language and the persuasive techniques that marketers use every single day.
First up, let's start at ground zero: fact versus opinion. A fact is something you can check, something that can be proven. This battery lasts for 8 hours. An opinion is a feeling or judgment. This is the best laptop on the market. Now, marketing's greatest trick is making opinions sound like facts. Your job is to pull them apart.
Oh, this next one is a huge trap: correlation versus causation. Just because two things happen around the same time, that's a correlation. It does not mean one thing caused the other. You might see a headline like, "Customers who used our app saw a 50% increase in productivity." That's a correlation. But did the app cause it? Or did they also hire a new manager, or was there some other factor? Marketers want you to leap to that conclusion of causation. Don't do it.
So marketers will use these fuzzy distinctions to their advantage with some classic persuasive tricks. These are logical fallacies designed to completely bypass your rational brain. Let's look at a couple of the most common ones.
First up, the bandwagon effect. You know this one. It taps right into our deep-seated fear of missing out, our FOMO. The argument here has nothing to do with how good the product is. It's all about popularity. The message is simple. Hey, everyone else is doing it. You should too.
Sound familiar? I bet it does. But think about it for a second. This phrase tells you absolutely nothing about the product's quality, its features, or its value. It just tells you it's popular. And since when is popularity proof that something is good?
All right. Next up is the appeal to authority. This is a classic. It's when a product tries to borrow credibility from someone famous, like a celebrity or an influencer, even when that person has zero expertise in that area.
Right. So a famous actor tells you to buy a certain brand of motor oil. I mean, is she a mechanic? A chemical engineer? Almost certainly not. Her fame is being used to create this little halo of credibility that the product itself might not deserve.
Okay, so we're getting good at spotting the tricky language. Now, let's level up and sharpen the tools we need to actually analyze the evidence, or, the lack of evidence that's behind these claims. This is so important. Not all evidence is good evidence. And a lot of the time, it comes down to something called sample size. That old claim, 4 out of 5 dentists agree, is pretty much meaningless if they only asked, 5 dentists. For a claim to be legit, it has to be based on a large sample of people who are actually representative of the whole group. So the question you should always ask is, how many people did you actually test this on?
Here's another sneaky tactic to keep an eye out for: cherry picking. This is when a company shows you only the shiny, happy data that makes them look good, while conveniently hiding all the results that don't. Think of it like a movie trailer. You're only seeing the best parts, not the whole film. So the next time you see one of those charts where sales are just going straight up and to the right, I want you to pause and ask yourself this question. What am I not seeing here? What were the customer return rates? What about their top competitors chart? What crucial piece of the puzzle might be missing? Okay, we have built our toolkit. We've got the concepts down. Now for the really fun part. Let's put our skepticism superpower into action and see how these tools work out there in the wild. And to make it really simple, here is a 5-step framework you can use for pretty much anything. 1, pinpoint the exact claim they're making. 2, look at the evidence they're actually giving you. 3, ask yourself, who is saying this and are they trustworthy? 4, brainstorm other possible explanations. And finally, 5, you draw your own conclusion based on all that.
Let's try it on something we all see, a glowing 5-star product review. Okay, step 1. Who wrote it? Is it a verified purchase or just some random account? 2, is the language objective or is it super emotional and a little too perfect? 3, are they comparing it to anything or just gushing in a vacuum? And the most critical step, cross-reference. Go find other reviews, especially the negative ones, to get the complete story.
And this framework isn't just for Amazon reviews. It works on the quote-unquote serious stuff too, like a corporate white paper. When you read one of those, dig into their methods. Remember sample size? Was their study big enough? Look for that cherry-picked data. Are you seeing all the results or just the highlights? And then ask the big question. Does their huge conclusion actually make sense based on the limited evidence they showed you? And really, this is what it's all about. This isn't just an academic exercise. Developing this sense of healthy skepticism gives you the power. It shifts you from being a passive target for marketers into being an empowered analyst who makes clear-headed decisions that are actually right for you. And that's the whole goal here, empowerment. So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. You have the toolkit now. You have the superpower. So what's the first claim you're going to investigate with your new eyes?